In today's episode, I'm going to share 5 things I wish people knew about Feng Shui. This is for you if you're totally new to the concept, or if you've been practicing yourself, or we've worked in depth. I think you're going to get some really good ideas with this one. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, a podcast for busy women looking to de-stress and live with more intention. I'm Lisa Morton, and I'm passionate about helping you create a home that not only inspires you, but empowers you. Years ago, I was severely struggling with my mental health and wellness, and while I'd implemented yoga, meditation, therapy, and more, I just could not find that missing piece of the puzzle. And that was until I explored my home. You see, the interior designer in me had made it beautiful, but it wasn't supporting me energetically. Fast forward, and I've now been in the interior design industry for 20 years, and I've devoted the past 10 years to Feng Shui and a holistic design approach. In this podcast, I'll be sharing with you interviews, stories, and knowledge, as well as some super easy, simple tips that you can take on today. If you're looking to be more intentional and create a life and home that you love, then you're in the right place. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Feng Shui Living. I'm your host, Lisa Morton, and if you're brand new here, thank you for joining. I'm so excited to have you. I think you're going to find a lot of fun and enjoy this episode. If you've been around for a while, hey, thank you so much for your support. Today is going to be a fun episode. I'm going to share 5 things I wish people knew about Feng Shui. Now, there's totally been times where, in fact, there was one time a gentleman stood up where I was doing a presentation, a talk, and he was jokingly asking if it was Feng Shui, if Feng Shui was Chinese food. And I'm like, no, I think he was being silly. But you know, sometimes I get some weird stuff. Sometimes people don't realize the impact it can have. So I thought I'd put together this episode today of those 5 things I wish everyone knew about Feng Shui. Some of this may be new. Some of this may be like, wow, I never thought of it that way. So let's jump in. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1. Feng Shui can be simple. It doesn't have to be hard to get a big result. A lot of times we think we have to work so hard and overhaul our entire home, but that's not it. Sometimes it's one little thing. I had a teacher years ago that would had this analogy of, it's like the old TV rabbit ear antennas. You know, I don't know. As a child, I remember we had these. If you would move the antenna just the slightest bit, it'd go from like a fuzzy screen to a clear picture. And sometimes that is what Feng Shui can be. It's just a small adjustment that makes a huge impact. And it's not also like, it's not a huge investment either. That's the other thing. And people are like, oh, I'm going to have to remodel my whole home. I'm going to have to buy new furniture, different things, different colors. And I find a lot of people have things in their own home already. They have things in storage, in a closet. I tell them, before you go buy anything, shop your own home, because you probably have these things. I had a woman not too long ago who we needed some sort of earth element, and she pulled out this beautiful landscape artwork from her closet. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Why is this in the closet? This needs to be out in your space. So she was excited too, because we found a home for it. So don't think that Feng Shui has to be overwhelming, expensive, a big overhaul. You know, it's not a big investment. Sometimes just little things. Be open to something, a small adjustment, making a big impact. Don't just think it has to be a big thing. All right? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. That was number 1. And number 2. Wow, if I had $1 for every time I talk to a client about this, I want you to dream big. I want you to think big. Because there are big things that you can manifest. I've personally done it myself. You can bring towards you better health, more money, you know, a gorgeous car, love of your life, whatever. There are all so many big things that you can manifest and bring towards you once you learn about that energy. So I want you to think big, dream big. So last night, I have to call out my friend Julia. I was actually at her space last night. She is an amazing artist and practices Thai massage. Oh my gosh, if you've never had Thai massage, it's amazing. If you're local near me, let me know. You have to go to Julia for an experience. It's amazing. But I was asking her, so she moved into a new space. So I'm helping her lay it out. We're going through things and trying to really, set things up. And I sent her the intake form like any other client, and she sends it back. And I honestly wasn't surprised. I think a lot of people just kind of want to be humble a bit. And when I asked her about goals, her response was, well, something along the lines of, I just want it to be warm and inviting. I just want my space to be inviting. I'm like, we can go bigger. Let's get big. Like, what do you really want? So I sat down with her and we talked through it. I'm like, tell me, what are your dreams? Like, where do you want to go? Like, what's happening? What's going on? Where can we take you? And then we'll morph from there. So she shared with me this beautiful dream she has for this just amazing wellness opportunity. And, it's a big thing. But that's okay because we can give her steps to get there. To get this big thing, it requires financial support, more relationships and connections to other people, and also just more people in her door so she can keep her thing going, right? As she's doing her Thai massage, her artwork, while growing this other thing. So think big. If I or your Feng Shui consultant, whoever that might be, if I ask you about your goals, I want you can give me some small basic goals. Like, I just want to feel generally better every day when I wake up, get some better sleep. But I want to know those big dreams that you have, because we can set you on this path to get there. And it's fascinating. I've seen so many of my clients reach amazing goals. My cousin Lindsay, we got her engaged, man. We got that girl engaged, and that was great. I've had so many clients, their businesses are doing amazing. They're meeting the love of their life. It's not magic. It's just alignment. All right? So remember, go big, dream big. When I ask you about your goals, go big.
Hi there, Feng Shui Living listeners. I am Shannon Russell, host of the Second Act Success podcast, where I share career advice and inspirational stories of people who have changed careers to start a second act. I myself pivoted from my dream job as a television producer to working as a career coach and running several businesses. My mission is to share stories that will motivate you to produce your best life. Search for the Second Act Success podcast wherever you listen, and I suggest you jump right to episode 130 for a special episode all about making a fearless career change. Now it's time to get you back to this episode of the Feng Shui Living podcast with your incredible host, Lisa Morton.
Let's jump into number 3 of 5 things I wish people knew about Feng Shui. And it's not a religious practice. So just to clarify, if you're like, oh, is this like a religion? Because if it's new, sometimes people are like, I don't know what that is. I don't practice that, It is not a religious practice. It's simply balancing your space to bring balance into your life. But here's the fun part. If you have a strong religious practice or some sort of spiritual beliefs that you would like to implement into your home, utilizing Feng Shui is really a beautiful way to do that, because we can specifically place certain things in certain areas to amplify the energy and just make the whole home feel connected to your belief system. And it's a really fun thing I've been able to do with several clients. So no, it's not a religion. It's not any type of religious or spiritual practice. It can be if you choose for it to be. Okay. And number 4, man, I'm really talking with my hands today. I'm gonna knock over something. Let's see. Number 4 of 5 things I wish people knew about Feng Shui is everyone's space is different. I often connect with someone and they're like, I read this book, but I don't know. My neighbor said this and my friend said this. My sister says I have to do this. Everyone's space is completely different. Sure, there's some great tips in the podcast, great tips, in books or wherever you want to read about Feng Shui. Remember, there are many different approaches. There are many different styles, but the key is to really know that your space is different from your neighbors, from your sisters, from your cousins, from your coworkers. When I do a one-on-one with someone, I look at, again, I do an intake form, so I find out about what's not working in their home, what's working, what their big dreams are. I'm going to push you again for big dreams. We also then, I look at the floor plan, the relationship of one area to another, active area next to an active area, a quiet area next to a quiet area. We look at the different levels. If you have multiple levels, if you have a lower level, basement, attic, crawl space, whatever, we look at all that. Also look at the surrounding landscape. What's going on? Are there hills? Are there woods behind you? Is there a pond next to you? That is all important as well. So it's really important if you are looking to really work on something big, to really think about that one-on-one consultation, because that's where we can go deep and look at things, right? Again, your space is different from your neighbors. Your home is laid out differently. The plot of land is different. Your goals, the way you move about your space, your families, your traditions, your lifestyles are going to be totally different. So that's why it's important to really look at your own space. Don't worry about what your neighbor says. Don't worry about what your sister says about feng shui in your space. Really look at your own, dive in, and really just devote your time to your own space and connect with your intuition and get into your own space, okay? So everyone's space is totally different. If you want to consult, let me know. Head over to the website. I have more information there. We could do a one-on-one, okay? And then number 5 is something I just added last minute here, and it's about virtual consultations. So that's getting more and more popular. We had to change our approach to work in recent years. And here's what I found. I'm naturally, I think with my design background, I'm naturally that woman that goes into space and I'll be, chatting, we're talking about things, we're working on your space. And I'm like, oh my gosh, put the brakes on. Where did you get that sofa? That is adorable, right? Or I'm like, oh my gosh, look at your family photo. This is the cutest family photo. And I want to ask you about it, or this heirloom, right? And I found that when I do virtual consultations for clients, I'm able to even get them more information. I'm able to be more black and white, analytical, in the space, as well as intuitive in the space, because I'm not like, oh my gosh, look at the cute sofa, right? So my virtual consultations have become so much more powerful. So to do this, we literally, you send me your floor plan, send me pictures. I'll request maybe pictures, videos. Again, don't apologize for any messes, right? If you have a mess in an area, that tells me how I can help you, right? To align maybe another area to bring balance to your space, okay? But I'll have you send me videos, pictures, as well as the questionnaire and the floor plan. The floor plan alone can tell me so much about your life. Maybe what's working and how we need to tweak it to bring it into balance, right? So virtual consultation, don't be afraid of them. Don't shy away. Don't think they're not as impactful as the in-person ones. Again, mine have actually become more impactful. So if I have someone who's local who really wants me to come to their home, I literally will do a virtual consultation and then we'll do a bonus home visit anymore, because it's transformed. So take on those virtual opportunities. So friends, those are the 5 things I wish people knew about Feng Shui. I hope you found this fun. If you have questions, if you want to explore a little more, pop over to my website. I also have my free home scorecard. So you can go, and I suggest printing it out so then you can keep a tally and really look at each and take notes as needed, okay? Free download. Just go over to my website and request your copy. All right, friends, I will see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye. I'd like to thank our production company, Coraggio Media, the WELT 95.7 studios, and our sponsor, Good Chi. For more information, follow the link in the show notes. Be sure to hit like, hit the subscribe button, and leave us a 5-star review. If you want to connect, find us on Facebook and be sure to let me know what topics you'd like to hear about. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.